Shakespeare's family were at the heart of civic life in the small town of Stratford upon Avon. His father, John Shakespeare, was born in 1531 in a village called Snitterfield, just outside Stratford. He came from farming stock. But in 1551, he moved into town and set himself up as a businessman. He became a glover. That involved working with leather and creating all sorts of leather goods, gloves especially. And everybody wore gloves at the time, so there was plenty of trade. He did very well and began to get positions on the Stratford Corporation, the town council. He began in the role of ale taster. That didn't mean that he got free ale for the fun of it. It meant that he had to taste the ale to make sure that it wasn't too watered down. He became constable and chamberlain, looking after the accounts of the town council. That was his position when Shakespeare was born in 1564. Then, in 1568, when young William Shakespeare was just 4 years old, John Shakespeare rose to the position of High Bailiff. Now we're going to look at one of the original treasures of the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust here in Stratford upon Avon. So I'm going to have to put on these rather inelegant gloves. What we have here is a quite remarkable object. It's a silver mace made in 1553 and in possession of the Corporation of Stratford upon Avon. A mace is a sign of authority, a sign of the power of an office. It could well be that John Shakespeare, William's father, when he was High Bailiff, would have held this actual silver mace. As High Bailiff, he chaired the meetings of the town council. He served as a justice of peace, becoming involved in judgments on local law cases, and was the figure of greatest authority and respect in the town. His position on the council also meant that he could send his son William to the grammar school for free. And of course, the grammar school was going to be crucial to Shakespeare's education and his introduction into the world of literature and drama. The other thing about becoming High Bailiff was that John Shakespeare could call himself Master John Shakespeare. He had become a gentleman. Social status, class, was always terribly important in Shakespeare's England. So John Shakespeare's rise from yeoman farmer to tradesman to gentleman was of great importance to the family. But he overstretched himself. In addition to his glove-making trade, he began dealing in wool on the side, and that was illegal. He also became involved in money lending, usury as they called it. This was dangerous territory, both for legal reasons, because formally speaking, usury was illegal, but also for financial reasons. There was a credit crunch in the 1570s. John Shakespeare had overstretched himself on a loan. He got into debt. A slow decline began. He was close to being arrested on a number of occasions. In 1576, he resigned from the town council. He would have had to give back the mace. The man no longer held office. He was in a situation of some disgrace. Pretty well all records of him disappear from the documents of the Stratford Corporation. This must have had an enormous effect on Shakespeare, who was going through his teenage years at just this time. And it may well be that one of the key forces that shaped Shakespeare's career was the desire to restore the reputation of the family name.